Hey everybody, David here from Aerial Influence. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Now, for the last several weeks, we have had a chance to work with the brand new DJI Matrice 4E and the Matrice 4T. We've got some other videos up about it, so go check those out. But we have been very impressed with these drones. And today, I just wanted to take you up on a straight flight. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get the drone up in the air and we'll show you some really cool stuff. All right, so I'm gonna fly out this direction. I'll turn it around. All right, so right now I am in the wide angle camera. On the left-hand side here, you will see a little bottom left corner. You'll see IR, zoom, and then there's a little diamond there, a little blue diamond. That is to drop a pin. So you see the zoom, the IR, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to the zoom. All right, and we can back out of that. And I'll just go ahead and I'll show you some of the zoom range on this thing right now since we're at it. Get a little higher up. All right. There's a parking lot over here, and I am going to zoom into that and see what we can see. Yeah, we got some golfers over there. Keep drilling in. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna, on the top left of your screen here, you see a icon that says RNG, and I'm gonna touch that. So that's the rangefinder, and it's literally telling you how far away that object is. So right now it's 1,458 feet away, that golf cart is. So I believe it's 112 times hybrid zoom. So really good zoom range, but the further you go in, obviously the more pixelated it's gonna get. All right, so since we're looking right now at this parking lot, I'm gonna look at one more thing. One more thing right now. So you see up in the left under that RNG, you'll see an AI information. So I'm going to click that. And right now you'll see the little icons over each car. So it's identifying each car. It's identifying human beings as well. So right now in the picture, up to the upper right, you're going to see a count of what it sees. So that number is going to change because there are cars going by on the road over there, and there are cars coming in and out of the parking lot. All right, so I'm going to take the IR off, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Smart Track. So in the left-hand side, right in the middle there, you'll see the icon that says Smart Track, and I'm going to go ahead and leave on the rangefinder as well. Get really high up. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna click on it. I just clicked on that truck right there. Now it's gonna lose it a little bit and then it's gonna get it back. When it goes behind a tree or a building or something, it will continue to try to track it. So this is a really cool feature. I mean, and you can imagine how great this is for like police departments that are trying to keep track of a situation. Okay, see there, it hooked it up again. So right now, I am not controlling the camera whatsoever. The camera is controlling itself, and it is just following this vehicle. It'll do this with human beings as well. But you see there the range on it. It does a good job. The rangefinder is pretty impressive, actually. We got it up to over a mile when we were testing it out. So it'll continue to track that object. And again, the drone obviously is not flying alongside the objects. It's just using that big zoom range to continue to follow that vehicle. So, and you saw, ooh, there, it just lost it. It went to another car. So it's not perfect, but still pretty great. All right, so I'm gonna turn off Smart Track. I'll turn off AI. There's also a bunch of smart features. So again, on the left-hand side of the screen, under cruise control, you're gonna see 3 dots. So you can touch those 3 dots and you've got all of these extra features. So for instance, let me just do a fly to real quick for you. Fly to. I'm going to drop a pin. Whoops. So on the bottom left, I'm going to drop a pin. So that's where I want it to fly to. And then you'll see below, I'm going to tell it how many feet I want it to be at when it reaches that destination. I've got it on optimal route right now. So the drone is going to figure out the best route to get to that 99 feet by the time it gets to that pinpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and hit fly to destination point. You can also do that on the remote with the C2 button on the back, but I'm just going to click it on the screen. All right, and you'll see there it's got kind of your little AI overlay that is telling you exactly where the drone is going to go. So right now I'm at 369 feet. I want it to get down to 99 feet. So you can see it's descending all by itself. And it will continue to descend to get to that point, and then it'll stop and hover at 99 feet. Almost there. And you can obviously, you can control your camera and everything during all this while it's flying. So, all right, so you just heard that's the waypoint was reached. So that is how Fly 2 works. Cruise control is exactly what cruise control sounds like. You just fly forward, and when you get to the miles per hour you want to get to, you're going to hit the C1 button. Cruise control is enabled. So now it's just going to continue to go that direction until you tell it to stop. And you can see the miles per hour in the center left right by the compass there. And I'm going to stop it so it doesn't go over the road. But the drone, what we've seen is it'll get up to about 33 miles an hour just in standard or in normal mode. You can also push it up to sport mode, but I wouldn't do that. We tell people not to do that because it turns off all the sensors and it can screw you up. So unless you really know what you're doing, don't do it. But in normal mode, let's get it up to top speed just so you can see how fast that goes. Again, in the center left there, you'll see the miles per hour. So 33, almost 34. All right, so 33 miles, almost 34. Point of interest, this is on a lot of different drones, and you can just drop a pin. So I dropped a pin there. So it's telling me to push the stick left or right, and it's gonna immediately, you'll see there on the screen how it is, you're seeing the little arrow right above the compass there. So I'm just pushing left or right, and it is going to just continue to look at that spot, at that pinpoint. And you can lock that in, and it'll just continue to circle, and then you can continue to control your camera, but you're not having to worry about, you know, any of the other flying. You're just controlling the camera. The key to this is just making sure you're up high enough that you're not going to run into anything because you're going side to side. All right, I'm going to take it out of POI. It's also got terrain follow, so you're going to set a specific height that you want to be above the ground, and as the ground changes, when there's a hill or something like that, it's going to automatically change the altitude as well. All right, and you can see here on the map, it's showing exactly where I've flown. Obviously showing exactly where I am. It's showing the positioning of the drone and which direction it's facing right now. This is how this will be what it's like when you set up maps and things like that as well. You'll see this overhead view, and then you're just gonna literally draw lines onto exactly where you want it to map. So we've talked about, you've got your zoom, your thermal. I'll do this thermal in just a little bit. But also in the right-hand corner, bottom right corner, you see this little gray box, and it looks like there's propellers in it. This is really cool, and this is on some of the consumer drones, and it's on the Mavic 3 thermal as well. But I'm going to click on that, and this is giving you the opportunity to look out at all of your sensors, or several of your sensors anyway. They are fisheye lenses. They're all over the drone, and you can look to the left, to the right, forward, backward, and down. Right now, we're looking over the left blades there. You're seeing outside the left-hand side of the drone. If I want to switch it to the right, I got that as well. and you can look straight down. Oh, I'm sorry, that's backwards. You can look straight down as well. So this is really for like just awareness, so that you know if there's something close by to you, and gonna keep yourself safe. Now the sensors are gonna tell you if something's wrong. If you're getting close to something, it's gonna actually tell you that. But it's nice to be able to look out of each of those sensors to sort of just have a better idea on where you are and how much closer you can get. I'm actually gonna fly all the way down by me so you can see the thermal. So you're actually seeing a heat signature, and then we'll go higher and higher so you can kind of see exactly how it works. All right, there I am. You heard it beeping there, and that's because it was getting really close to the trees. So, all right, I get a little bit closer. All right, now I'm going to switch it over to thermal, and that's on the bottom left there. You see it's the top one that says IR. It's right above zoom. I'll click that. All right, so now I'm in thermal. You've got all of these different palettes that you can choose from. So you can see it's up there to the center of the screen, just a little bit to the right. There's like a line there, and it turns red eventually. So I'm going to click on that, and now I've got all of these different palettes I can choose from. So right now it's in tint. That's basically going to be, I think it's white hot, with a little bit of tint of red. You can actually change it to regular white hot, which is what you're seeing right now. And that's everything on the screen that is warm is going to show up white. I think it's probably obvious, but you can switch it to black hot. So white hot and black hot are typically what our police and fire departments are using. So this might be a good one for you, but it's really up to your eye and how you're going to see it better. So, okay, let me move back. I'll go through a couple more of these actually. So you've got a ton that you can choose from, but I am going to go into black hot. So everything that's darker is warmer. So right now you can see me pretty good. If I touch on the screen, it's going to give me the temperature of whatever that pixel is on. So right now it's on me. It says I'm 94 degrees. I can also draw a little box on the screen, and it's going to tell me the hottest point and the coldest point within that box. So you see on the right there is a little red dot. It's saying 128 degrees, so that's something in my truck that's doing that. There it just switched over, found another hotter spot, and then you're seeing the coldest spots as well. All right, so since we've got it in thermal now, I want to back up. So we're really close, obviously. So I'm going to go higher and see kind of how high up we're going to be. There you can see my shadow there is colder. All right, so right now we are at 221 feet. So you can see me down there. I'm gonna walk around just for a second. Okay, you see me down there at 220 feet. And it's funny because to the right of the truck there and to the right of me, you can see that the shadow is cooler. So my shadow on the concrete is cooler than the rest of the concrete, and the same with the truck as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I'll walk around a little just so you can sort of see how easy it is to see somebody with thermal. Now imagine that if you're doing like a search and rescue operation or something along those lines. But let's go up even higher. We'll go up to 400 feet max height. So it's going to stop me at 392. Again, you can see, back up just a little. You can see the shadows and everything still. So it's definitely picking up those heat signatures. And now I'm going to walk again and just see if you guys can see me. Okay, now you see me there in the middle. So I might be hard to make out because it's small, but you can still see the heat signature there. Now, you can also, on the right here, it says infrared next to the record button. You can zoom on the thermal, and it goes in pretty tight. So right now, obviously, you can't tell what that is, what that black blob is, but that's me, and I'm gonna walk a little more. Go that way. So even zoomed in, you can still see that heat signature, and that's at 400 feet. So again, this kind of thing is invaluable to our police and fire departments. It just is. And when they're doing search and rescue operations, it's just a must. If your town doesn't have a thermal drone of some sort, even a cheaper one, they're doing a disservice to you. They're cheap enough now. Everybody should have one, just in the case of an older person that wanders away. Maybe they got dementia, or a kid that walks away and is lost. Having one of these drones is life-saving. So hopefully your police department is listening to that. Here's another cool thing. You can actually do a side-by-side. So I'm going to go to my thermal camera, and I'm going to hit, there up in the right-hand corner, it says SBS. Click on that. And now it is seeing both the thermal and the zoom in the same frame. So you can see them both. I think I might need to back out my thermal a little bit. Now let's try it. Okay, there we are. So now you're getting more of an accurate view. It's still wider on the zoom lens than it is on the thermal, but you can still see that side by side. That could be really useful. So you're getting both of those. You can still change the palettes. And then, I've got my zoom control on the right-hand side as well. And you can see the house is hotter. So the thermal on these drones is great. I'm not going to say that this thermal is better or worse than the thermal on the M30T or the Mavic 3T. I think it's really hard to tell the difference. They're all really great. But what the Matrice 4T has over these other two is its night scene mode. I'll show you a couple of clips on this right now just so you see it, but it brightens up the night. It is really, really cool. We tested it out the other night, and it's, first of all, head and shoulders above the M30T, being able to see in the night scene mode. And it has a near infrared light. So even though this light that it shines down you can't see it by the naked eye, but the camera itself is able to see that light. So it's definitely a big upgrade there. All right, for just general stuff, so I'm in the wide angle camera right now. Right now at the top of the screen, you'll see there's about 12.5 minutes left of flight time. That first dot that you see there is, that's when it's gonna start beeping at me to come home. That's at 25%. Now you can change that in the settings. You could take it down to 10% if you want, but I don't think that's a good idea. So you see the white dot, that's when it's gonna beep at me. And then you see the yellow H dot on the left-hand side at the upper part of the screen. That is when it's gonna start coming home. And then the red is like critical. You better get your butt back home. And you gotta listen to these things, because we had a police department that actually didn't listen. They took the battery down to 5%. Then they decided to come home. Drone didn't have enough power, so it landed right in a river and destroyed their drone. So make sure you're listening to what your remote is saying. These things are really, really smart, and you gotta listen to them or you're gonna end up screwing your drone up. Let me just show you the zoom one more time. Let me see if I can find like a water tower or something. All right, so let's zoom into the water tower. Hey, that's pretty darn good. You can see that water tower really, really clear. That's several miles away from us here in Elburn, Illinois. So the zoom is pretty great. And again, like I said, the less you zoom, the better the picture is gonna be, okay? The more you zoom, the more pixelated it's gonna get. That's just how these cameras work. It doesn't have an optical zoom on it like the M30T does. So with the M30T, you're probably gonna get a little better picture quality, especially when you're in that 0 to 16 times zoom, because it is using the glass instead of using digital zoom. But still very, very useful if you're needing a zoom range at all. On the right-hand side of the screen, at the top, you see the 3 dots. That's gonna give you information that you can go in and change. So you can change your brake speed, you can change your home settings, all sorts of different stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back home. Again, this was just a quick introduction to this drone. And we think it's really great. We definitely think it is head and shoulders above the Mavic 3T. We think in a lot of ways it is really good, even compared to the M30T, and it actually does better than the M30T in several areas. Another great situation here is that you get the DJI RC Plus 2 with it. This is an awesome controller. It's big, it's beefy, it's got a really bright screen, and it is just an awesome remote. And this is gonna fly very similar to the Matrice 4E, which is really made for mapping. It doesn't have a thermal sensor on it, but still a really great drone. We appreciate you stopping by, and we will see you next time.